Whoa, Mr. Schneider. I told you we have not covered multiplying decimals, or we did, but I forgot. This is not fair. 90 times 0.5? That's not cool. Well, it's okay. It is okay. Because I need you to remember back, if you have 0.5 of something, how much is that? And some of you are like, oh, I know it. And some of you are, I don't know, it's 0.5. You're right, it is. So if you were to think about this like money, and I have 0.50 cents, how much of a dollar is that? Well, that's half of a dollar, Mr. Schneider. I know that. You can't buy anything with it except for gumballs. Well, you're right. So all I'm asking you really is 0.5 is half of a dollar, right? So all I'm asking is for what is half of 90. All these problems. If you see 0.5, I just want half. I just want half. That's all I want. Now, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you two ways to find the first problem, and the second way will totally help you get the other problems, okay? So we know what half of like 6 is, that's 3, half of 10 is 5, that kind of thing. But sometimes the numbers get trickier, like 90. And you may know that, hey, wait a second, I know half of 90. That is 45. Done. And some of you may not, and that's completely cool. So I'm going to give you a tool on how you get half of 90. And this will help you with half of 79 and half of 99. So what you do is you think of, okay, ideally, if you don't want to subtract, if you don't like subtraction, think about a number lower than 90. But if you're cool with subtraction, think about a number higher than 90. You'll get the same answer. So here's what we got. The first one, you just know it. Second one, think of a number lower than 90 that you know half of. So, and then what we're doing is we are just chunking it, just like we did with ratio tables. So for example, you may say, well, Mr. Schneider, it's far away, but I know half of 80. Awesome. What's half of 80? Well, that's 40. You are right. And how far are we away from 90 if we just stay at 80? Well, we're 10 away. Well, find half of 10. That is 5. Then since we're chunking, we add it together and we get, oh wait, that gives me half of 90. 40 plus 5 is 45. What do you know? I get the same answer. Good work. And when you do it often enough, it just becomes in your memory. So, now let's say you're cool with subtraction. Maybe you're like, Mr. Schneider, 90 is super duper close to 100. Okay, 90 times, we'll write that there. Okay, so if 90 is super close to 100, we just do 100 times 0.5. What's half of 100? Well, that's 50. How far away is 90 from 100? It's 10. And half of 10 is 5. So, when we subtract, 100 minus 10 is 90. 50 minus 5 is 45. Same answer, however you want to get there. Now we're going to practice that with some trickier problems, if that's okay. Now we have 79 times half. Well, I really don't know what half of 79 is off the top of my head. Oh, wait, look. 79 is super close to 80. So how about I just find half of 80? So I don't like writing times 0.5 because it's too much work for me. So I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do a half there. There you go, that's easier. Half of 80 is totally 40. And the distance between 80 and 79 is 1. And hey, I know half of 1. That is 0.5. So what I do is I say, okay, let's subtract 80 minus 1. Hey, that gives me 79. So what is 40 minus 0.5? Now, before you stack it and line up the decimal points and all that stuff, you know, it'll look like this. Okay? Before you do that, I just want you to think about the problem. You can always go back to this if you get stuck. But I'm always down for thinking about it first before you start. So, if you have $40 and you want to buy a 50-cent gumball, it looks delicious. After you buy this wonderful gumball that makes your day better, how much money do you have left? Think about it. Pause the video, think about it. I said pause the video and think about it. Okay, say it. Good. You have $39.50 left. Okay? So, just scooch it down a little bit. Let's look at the next one. Ooh, 99 times 0.5. Gee, my knees. Oh, wait a second. 99 is close to 100. I can just chunk it up that way. So half of 100 is 50, and I am 1 away. We already went over this. Half of 1 is 0.5. Oh, Mr. Schneider, now I have to think again. Half of 99. Okay, so pause the video and think. Pause it. Okay. Okay, there we go. So it should be 49.5. Just a little lower than 50. There we go.